Welcome to On the Beat, everyone. I'm Troy Thompson. Joining me today is Will Cooper of Crowell Gillis Cooper Law Firm. And today we're talking all about premises liability. Welcome to the show, my friend. Nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you. Good to be back.
Before we get into my questions, I wanted to ask you, what is premises liability and how is it different from injury workplace?
Oh, well, from an injury in the workplace is where you're actually employed.
Right.
Premises liability is where you're visiting somewhere, i.e. the grocery store, slip and fall, go into a convenience store, something happens, object falls on you, you're at your neighbor's house, the deck collapses, swimming pool accidents, dog bites are considered premises liability. All of those things fall under premises liability.
And so when that is the case, what does one have to do to begin with? Like, I could have a neighbour or someone coming over to mow my lawn. Is this what you're talking about?
That can be part of it. Keep in mind that in Mississippi, there are 3 different types of visitors that can come in. A trespasser, and then you have a licensee. Someone that's a social guest, someone that comes to your home just for their pleasure, for their enjoyment.
For the barbecue we've been having.
Yeah, that's right. They're called licensees. And then there's something called a business invitee. And a business invitee is someone that goes into a store, for example, for the mutual benefit of both parties. And there are different duties owed to those 3 different classes.
There are?
There are. For example, trespasser,
I was about to ask you for that.
Trespasser and a licensee, the duty is not to willfully and wantonly injure them. So you're protected at home, if you're home, and as long as you don't do something to willfully injure your social guest.
To purposely do it.
That's right. Then you're protected. But if you own a convenience store and you've got a display that is dangerously placed and somebody walks in and the display crashes over on them, then the duty there was to keep a safe environment and to warn them of dangers. So you see, you have a much higher duty to a business invitee as opposed to a licensee or a trespasser.
Do we have, as residents in our home, have insurance to cover these type of court cases?
You do. Your homeowner's policy has a liability section that would cover you if something happened. We see this a lot. A tree falls and it falls on the neighbor's house. Premises liability case, was that tree, did you inspect to make sure it wasn't rotten and those things? So if you knew that you had this rotten tree and you didn't do anything about it, you just let it stay there on your property as a rotten tree and it falls and injures someone, you could potentially be responsible.
One of our viewers wrote in, can landowners be responsible for criminal conduct by third party?
In Mississippi, it used to be the law that you could easily be responsible for conduct if that conduct had occurred, say, at a store where there were other shootings in the surrounding neighborhood. But now Mississippi has passed what's called the Landowner Protection Act, which protects businesses from criminal activity. And the law basically says that you had to do something, start a process that basically led to that criminal activity.
Okay.
So it's much harder now to sue, say, a convenience store where somebody got shot by a third party and you sue the convenience store saying they allowed people to come into the parking lot and
their fault.
That's right. But it used to be really easy to sue those people. Our legislature passed the Landlord Protection Act, the Landowner Protection Act, and that has now cut a lot of that third-party criminal act out.
Gosh, I tell you, it's a good way to lose friends if you want to sue your friend from coming over for a barbecue.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Something happens.
That's right.
We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
If you want to find out more information, there it all is up on the screen for you. We've been chatting with Will Cooper of Crowell Gillis Cooper Law Firm.